Megan's the best. Megan and I have been film homies and friends for
How can
a
I be the
long
best
time.
when you are the best, Blake? How can that be?
I love this.
Honestly, I can't answer that.
You are both the best. Y'all, I watched Prime, so like I know there is serious talent behind the camera, and in front of the camera and with the camera. Like there's a lot to talk about here with how
Oh, it's so nice to say thank you.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about it. Prime. I was not ready for what I experienced in this movie in like the best way possible because this is one of those movies where you go into blind and you just are along for the ride with a very interesting destination. um let's talk about the development of Prime. I know you said in your Sundance like introduction that this started off as one thing but kind of morphed into another. Let's start there. What was it originally and talk about that morphing process into what it is.
Well, I think, you know, I keep telling people that this is a comedy, and to me, it's still funny.
Yeah.
And I think that I always love comedies that you kind of don't know if you should laugh or not. And all I knew is that I wanted it to be played really, really straight. And in trying to make it, you know, short should be short, and trying to make it shorter and shorter, like ended up cutting out a lot of the haha jokes. And sort of in what the actors brought to it as well, like telling them to play it straight and not telling anyone that it was a comedy, because I didn't want it to be like, whoa, you know, like that kind of a thing. They just treated it so seriously, and I think it's been interesting, the feedback, because some people kind of are like, yeah, it was very funny, or are like, wow, it really kind of messed me up. So I'm interested in your take on that.
Oh, it did both. It was funny and it messed me up. That ending, I was not ready for it. But there's this interesting thing you do with foreshadowing in the story that we'll talk about in a little bit. I don't want to give it away. I just want to clarify. This will be a non-spoiler conversation.
Okay,
Just seek
good.
out Prime. I'm not going to spoil anything. But yeah, so that's interesting to hear. Blake, I want to talk with you about your role on this film as a producer. You and Megan are filmmaking homies. Glad to hear that. And obviously, you guys are incredibly talented based on this film and other things you've done, Blake, that we've talked about. Talk to me about being a
I'm
producer.
blushing. We're both blushing. Honestly, like I've been a producer with Megan on other shorts before, so we kind of already had this great, like, yo, don't have to sugarcoat the notes here on both of each other's work. Like we send each other scripts that we're both working on all the time and get really trusted feedback, which is like it's hard to find those relationships. And this was one of those things we were just sending back and forth. And it was a couple of years ago now, Megan. But I just remember being like, it's so her. The project was so her and so good. And that fine line of like humor with something to say, but this taste that is absolutely getting achieved in the writing and in the dialogue, that I was like, I think with my skill set, like logistically on the film side, I can help support this project. And like, to me, that's kind of the producer role. It's like, can I help put you in the position to do to get off what you're trying to say here? And we both just like, I just think we've been through the fire and the total fire on absolutely of everything else, like the hard jobs we've been on before. So to go on something with a total blank slate is like, we can kind of take this on together. It was just always a great fit and just a blast to make. And that's the stuff we look for too. Like, is this fun creatively and will we have fun on it? And we knew both of that going in. So I think the proof's kind of in the pudding.
Yeah, it seems fun. Again, in that little introduction you did for Sundance, you give a little behind the scenes shots and what was going on there. And so that's really fun to see and to get some behind the scenes there. But
that I tricked everyone to come upstate for a week to with Blake Bell.
See, everyone thought it was
the cult behind the cult is just us duping our friends into another short film.
It is really funny too, because like there were times where it was just like everyone is in the outfit and Blake's on walkie, like trying to get a PA to do something. It's like, why is no one answering walkie, and like looking outside, and it's like, because they're all on camera right now.
Yeah. And I'm in the same outfit. I'm in the I'm in the Colt outfit too, and so is Megan. So we're like all like, we need a shoulder quickly. It's like all us, and
I found out after the fact too that like a couple good buddies, Colin and Eric, they're like very funny people, comedians in their own right, and they agreed to help. And you know, we kept running out of hard drives, and we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, so to like go to a Best Buy to get another hard drive, it was just like, I found out after the fact that they were all joking like, we must go to Best Buy. It is good for the film. Like, they all made their own like cult jokes throughout as well. And it was just sort of like, it was very real in that way.
That's awesome. Very cool. So the film is screening a part of the Midnight's program at Sundance, and I want to hear more about your guys' experience with Sundance. Blake, you had just mentioned this is your first Sundance going to, which is also the last Sundance in Park City, so that's really special. Meagan, what about you? What's your experience with Sundance?
I mean, this is my first movie. So
Right.
my,
I know you did makeup for a project. I Carry You With Me.
yes.
That one also got into Sundance, but I don't know if they let makeup artists come to the
You know,
festival.
I was actually, hold on, the sun is killing me right now.
There you go.
I was actually invited to go to do red carpet makeup. And
Okay.
part of me wishes I went because it was like right before COVID,
It was.
right before COVID. And I do wish that I went, but it wasn't going to work because I had another job. And so I couldn't go. But that film is beautiful,
Mhm,
and anyone should check that out. Like they shot most of it in Mexico, but I did the New
mhm,
York unit stuff. And Heidi Ewing is fucking incredible. And
mhm.
sorry, but
No,
like
you're good.
she's truly I learned so much working for her, and just how she shoots, and her vision is amazing. So I there was no doubt in my mind it was going to get into big festivals, and so it was great that it
Mhm.
was in Sundance. And I think did really well there too.
I'm sure. I know it. I mean, COVID happened, and then I think it did a really robust film festival circuit throughout the rest of that year. I'm pretty sure I saw it during Tribeca, which is when I was kind of getting my feet wet with film festivals.
That's when I
Um,
saw it too.
so that was pretty cool. Um,
I'm also excited too. Shout out to Minette Louie, who produced I Carry You With Me, because we just did like a producer Zoom for Sundance, which was amazing. I was like going through the little boxes of people, and I'm like, this is crazy. And she was on there, and
mm,
she kind of gave me a little shout out in the chat, because it's like, you know, coming up as a makeup artist, and I've worked with her on a couple things now. But she didn't know that I made a short and that I got into Sundance. So if she
yeah,
sees this, I'm hoping to see you there. Yeah,
that's
cool.
awesome. Very cool. Let's talk a little bit more about Prime. I think this, like, we did a curtain raiser conversation, and one thing that I said in that conversation, which we'll publish here, it should be published when this goes online. But one thing I said is that this is your first film, like, doing, which is
Yeah.
awesome. But it doesn't feel like it. It feels like you've been making shorts and you are well versed in how to tell a compelling story. And I guess I want to know how you got there. Tell me about the development of like writing a script and directing a film that got you to be comfortable enough to make this leap.
Well, first of all, I'll be honest. I thought it was going to take me a couple more shorts to get into a festival like Sundance, so that is surprising.
yeah, what the fuck? I had to make like 10 bad things. Okay, sorry to interrupt, but what the fuck? I had to make so many bad things, and she's like, I guess my good one's not good as Sunday. Keep going.
Oh, it's hard.
You should have done
And
this
I'm also
earlier.
just like,
Yeah.
I'm milking this for all it's worth, because like, who knows if it'll strike again. I hope that it does. But
Mhm,
I think uh you know, I've been a makeup artist for like almost 10 years, and I think, you know, if you spend any time on set, like a good makeup artist is like behind the monitor in Village all the
mhm,
time, and you're kind of a fly on the wall to kind of see a lot of stuff. And you're on a good production, you're there from the very beginning, and you get to read the script and give your opinion on makeup, whether it's special effects makeup or how they're going to shoot something, or getting to the heart of a character, and like, how they might do they leave the house wearing makeup? Are they that type of person? Like that's kind of stuff. um and there's a lot of downtime too, where you're just kind of standing there, and I think I always use that as like, I'm just a little baby sponge here, and kind of seeing everything that's going on, and quietly in my mind being like, well, I would move that over there, and I think that actually, like, if this prop was that, they shouldn't be holding that, or whatever the thing is. And so with Prime, like, maybe I'm just a little busybody, but it was kind of like, put your money where your mouth is and try to do something for yourself, and wanting to, test my own limits of being in the director's chair, and kind of seeing what that's like. And like, Blake was such an amazing, he also neglected, when he was talking about our relationship, neglected to mention that we are both clowns, and that really helps, because if you don't have a sense of humor on set, I think it can be pretty miserable. So such a foundation of like trusting his taste and being able to bounce things off of him. And like, there's always times where you second guess yourself, and if you have someone being like, no, this is good, like, trust your instincts, and having that guiding voice was very helpful. And having a great team, and like people who I've known and worked on other things in the context of being a makeup artist, and kind of, in some instances, just like, you hire these people to do something, and especially on a passion project, like, you got to let the chef cook a little bit, like, let them have some fun with it. And our DP is a beast. Josh, you're amazing. And letting him kind of like be free within the context of like, you have a playground and there's a fence around the playground, but like, go nuts in the playground. And having talent that like believed in it, and like, we're willing to come up to the middle of nowhere with no cell service and just film this thing. I feel really lucky. So it's not one person that made this happen. And a lot of editing, Mike, you rule. So, just a really great team to kind of talk me off the ledge when I needed it. And also just wanting to make something of my own, and being brutal too, with like cutting things, and surrounding yourself with people who are going to be honest with you, to tell you like, you don't really need that. You like that, but you don't need that. Thank you, Blake. So yeah.
I would love to see the deleted scenes. I want the director's cut.
It was a longer. It was probably like a 22-page script, right? If I remember, like, what did we go up there with, like a 24-page script? Like,
yeah,
it was a longer script. And part of what I think really works in it for now is when you have like only the best of the best of the best makes it. So getting that down to 15, 16 minutes when you're in the mix against other shorts. I think honestly, Megan, I think having a longer project and having to cut it down strengthened the project, because also we had more stuff to compete against it. Like we had a lot of material and visuals to really compete against our stuff, which really helped like these montages shine a lot. And when you're up against other shorts that don't have as much of those options, I think I don't know. I think it helped out a bunch.
There was a lot of trimming of the fat, where it's just like, oh, this is nice to have, but like, do we need it? And like, usually the answer is no. It's like, and we cut some really beautiful shots, but like, at the end of the day, it's like, I hate movies that are pretty but boring, and it can be as pretty as you want, but it's gotta go to like hold people, especially in a short, because like, in shorts, it's like, you need to grab people right away, and like, people's attention spans are so low that even 16 minutes feels long, and it's got to be great if it's gonna take that amount of time and to tell a story. And it's nice that people have responded really well to it.
Totally. So it's interesting hearing you guys talk about the fun that there is with this film. But I think you make a really valid point when it comes to keeping it snappy, keeping it going. And the pacing is really important. Tone is really important. And I struggle so hard to imagine how to take that from page to screen and make it work, right? there's interesting things you do in the script when it comes to foreshadowing. When you watch it the second time, there's things that are happening that's like, oh, I get why
Watched
that's
it
happening now.
twice.
I did watch it twice. I'm going to watch it a third time.
Nice.
It's great, but it's fun watching when you have a movie that has that pace that keeps your attention, but then like drops little clues in throughout the movie so that the second time you watch it, it's like, oh, I understand what's going on here now. Talk to me about creating that and conceptualizing it and bringing all these little like nuances in the script to the screen, and maybe how that developed in the filming and editing process.
I think there was a lot of rewriting in the script, and I think that you know, I've said it's a passion project, and a lot of times with passion projects, like you don't have a lot of resources. And I just from working on sets before, where it's like you read the script, and when things aren't specific or there's like room for interpretation, sometimes that can waste time on set, and time is our most valuable commodity on a set, especially a passion project where you can't buy more time. And so I knew that I wanted to be as specific as possible with the script, where there could be like kind of no not no, but like not a lot of interpretation for things. So even like you know, the bathtub, like the
Mhm.
label should say this. And so my production designer had very little questions about what should be on these little things. And then it's funny because you spend so much time thinking about that in an office and staring at the wall, and then we end up cutting a lot of that. So it's like, you know, but on the day, people are kind of on the same page. And I
Mhm.
think because I spent so long thinking about the script and thinking about the characters, that I have to say there were a lot of things that were just really instinctual for me. So when people had a question, I knew the answer right away. Like, um, I'm trying to think of a good example. This scene got cut, but there was something where Rhea comes in the house with Claire, and there's a rug on the ground. She like steps on the rug. We're blocking the scene, and the production manager's like, does this look good? And I was just like, yeah, just lose the rug. And the first AC was just like, oh, you just don't like the rug? And I was like, no, like she's an earth worshiper and she has bare feet. She
Mm,
wants her feet on the wood. And it
interesting.
was such a quick answer. And so I really think that just being like not even a control freak, but it's like if the script is the Bible, like you're following the Bible. So just spending that time to kind of think about these things and think about these characters, that on a passion project, you just here's what we're doing. And if you have questions, ask me, but like here's what we're doing. So that was helpful, I think.
That's a really good example of just knowing your story and knowing your film so intimately that those details are like natural to you. Just like living in this world kind of in your head and bringing it to life. Um, I have to bring this to a close way quicker than what I would like, but I just want to talk a little bit more about the director producer relationship and the importance of that. Blake, I've talked with you as a director. Meagan, I've talked with you as a director, and now Blake, I have you as a producer. Just give me your insight. I know, Meagan, you've mentioned being a clown and having fun on set is important, but yeah, let me know what is the key to a well-functioning director-producer relationship.
Ooh, are you asking me? You're asking me?
Yeah, let's start with Blake. Yeah.
What is the key? I think trust, like, and being establishing, like, what is the main goal of this project from the forefront, or like, what is the main goal? Like, what do you want to get out of like having these upfront convos and setting up the land before you even go into it. Um, and then I think like keeping that in mind throughout it, the whole thing, through prep, through shooting it, through post, through festivals, all of it. Like, what is the end goal here? That I think has helped me help the project, I think.
Mhm.
And also just like working on your relationship with the director. Like, how much like you choosing to do this project, like you better get along, you better have fun doing it, you better love the project and the person. And at least for me, like you got to be able to jam and be able to, like, you're not hurting anyone's feelings when you talk creative stuff. Like, we go back and forth, and I think Meagan, what helped us is we've both looked at other projects of ours as we're like not prime. And so being able to talk about something for either something I'm directing or you're directing, like it's like, yo, I know I'm gonna get a straight shot answer on this. Like, is this choice right here whack, or is it awesome? Like, plain and simple, can you say something and why? And I think that's what's set up. Like, and I think Meagan's has great taste, and taste not just for what she wants creatively, but taste for people she works with, taste for where she wants a project to go, and taste for like the next thing she's looking for too. And that's important for things I'm going to, try to create as well. And I think we align on taste, which is crucial for diving into something together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great insight. Meagan, what about you? From your perspective, on top of being a clown, is there anything else that's that is like key to a functional director-producer relationship?
I mean, like trust for sure, but
Mhm.
like also like I know that I could talk to him about anything and he wouldn't get his feelings hurt. Like, and I hope that it's the same, right? Where it's just like, if something's not working, I know that he's not going to bullshit me. And I know that he's not just gonna be like, yeah, it's great, great. Like, he's like, no, we're in this together and we're going to make the best thing that we can with the resources that we have. And I'm like, I know that he would help me do that, whether as a sounding board or like resources, like, and we did a lot of production together beforehand, but then when we were shooting, like he was the one, right? Like he was like making sure things were functioning how they would function, because I needed that space to direct. And I remember this one moment where I was like, it's like the 4th day of shooting on a 5-day shoot, and like I'm like kind of in it, and I'm just like, oh well, why isn't this happening? And he was just like, Meagan, the power went out. The house is operating on a generator. And I look at the house and it's completely dark. And that was I was totally shielded from that because I needed to focus on the creative. And then I was like, oh, thank you very much. And he knew that he had to kind of do that because you need to have your mind clear. And I knew that it's my baby, and I was like trusting my baby with someone who was going to take good care of it and like make sure that what needs to get done gets done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. Great insight there. Um, Last question, just very briefly. This is going to Sundance. What does it mean to you guys to have this movie playing in Park City at the last Park City Sundance?
Are you kidding me?
Go. Clip it.
Clip it, yes.
Like what? Like getting, like, I swear, like getting the call, like it was like 11:30 at night. And I'm like, this is a punk. This is not a real, this is not a real thing. And
which would be on brand for us also. So
Right.
yeah, totally. And I was just like, there was another festival that had like the week before, like we got in and we got nominated for some stuff, which is so awesome. And they were like, congratulations, you won. I don't know how to say it, like, you won this. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I didn't even know we were nominated for that. And then 2 days later, they said, oh, actually, that was a mistake. You weren't. You won this other thing. And it was kind of just like, I kept thinking that was going to happen. Like, oh, this is just like, it's a short. It's like a long short. It's my first short. There's no way. But I just responded right away, like, yes, because I was like, as much as I respond, then they can't say no, they can't take it back. So
Great.
it's amazing. And to go there, I've never been, and to go there the last year that it's going to be in Park City is incredible. And to just be in the mix and kind of soak it all in, and just be around a bunch of people who are like movie geeks that just want to like talk about movies. That's my heaven. So a lot of hot chocolate and a lot of hand warmers will be
hand warmers, very important.
A lot of great movies.
Blake, do you have any final thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, Sundance is, it's a total benchmark for your career. It's like, if most people not in the business, if they hear the word film festival, they probably only think of Sundance. And when you're coming up, that check mark or that credit means so much in those other conversations with people outside of the business. Like, it's such a stamp of validation, and it also is so beneficial for the next phase of your career as well. Having done a couple other film festivals and now doing Sundance too, it's like you couldn't be more grateful for the festival, for giving you a shot and opportunity. And it's really, so it's also extremely motivating. Like I love going to these festivals, meeting people, but then to me, it's like, this is an opportunity for the next job and the next work. And that's the best thing that these festivals do. And I hope they get the credit for. And seeing how other festivals run too, Sundance is so responsive and so supportive and so like, the other, by the way, the other big ones aren't doing this. So like, it's been so cool to see the inner workings.
They like assign people to you that will answer any question anytime.
They like answer things quickly. Yeah.
You can just tell they're in it because they love movies too, and they're so excited for all of the people that are on there. It's incredible. It's really incredible.
Yeah. But the biggest honor is talking to you.
Yeah.
And the biggest honor is being
you guys. You guys,
I know that neither one of us is the best. You are.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I am flattered. Look at me blushing now. Oh man, Meagan and Blake, this has been such a privilege, such an honor. I hope you guys have a blast in Park City for the time that you're there. I expect everyone to respond very positively to this movie, because they should. It's a great movie. Congratulations to you both on completing this film and getting it into Sundance. So
appreciate it. Thanks so much. And thanks for having us.
Of course.
Thanks for having us. This was awesome.
We'll see you guys in Park City.